What's up? How's it going, everyone? We are streaming. We're on time, more or less.
What's up, boys?
How is everyone tonight? It's good to see you all. Glad you've all stopped by on this lovely Thursday night. As you can see, I have not shaved my head. I need to. It's looking bad. But tonight, we got something special for you guys. If we do the 30 super chats tonight, up from 20, $5 super chats get you entered into a raffle at the end to get you this lovely tricorder box set of Star Trek Adventures.
You be a real away team member.
Yeah, and as you can see, it comes with this strap, so you can be a real away team member. And the entire thing, it has the dice and the books. Oh, it's even still still shrink wrapped. Stream's going well. This is good entertainment, right, guys?
That's right.
But yeah, we're giving this away. We've played this game, not this literal copy, but it's a lot of fun. You can do next gen. Really good. You can do like pretty much anything.
TOS, next gen, DS9.
Yeah, super fun. We got a super chat already. Thank you. Starting it off early.
Last donation till payday. Looking forward to the stream. Hope you gents have had a decent week. Don't put mine in the drawer.
All right. Well, thank you very much, President Biden, for reading that super chat for us. And thank you.
Forward to hope you
getting some extra, some bonus. All right. Thank you, Biden. Thank you for the £5, man. We appreciate it. Everybody else appreciates it, getting us towards that goal. But at any rate, yeah, this game is a lot of fun. One of our players did her first time GMing, running it, and with the kind of scenario that it comes with, it's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And it's good stuff.
That's right. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but our week has been great, actually. We've been cooking on Cults of Zahak.
That's right.
For quite a while now. And we are likely going to be done with the writing at the end of next week.
That's right.
And fiddling with the layout as we speak. Not as we speak. Not literally right now. But it's so good. Oh, my God. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. We're playtesting right now. Tora, I'm sure, is in the chat. A couple of you other monkeys.
Yeah, we did our session 0/1. Getting everybody up to speed about the world, what's going on in Avalok, and a lot is happening in Avalok. So we got some good players, and they are already invested, already interested in tracking down the almsgivers. Who might they be? You'll find out.
And for those of you who backed Cults of Zahak, if you didn't back Cults of Zahak, you still can over on Kickstarter.
That
we
is
got
true.
the late pledges. The word count is higher than that of the Shucked Oyster already. So it's you're getting a lot.
There's still a fair amount that's going to get added next week.
Next week,
and that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Anyway, tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about Star Trek because I finished the original series. The first time that I've ever watched it. I grew up watching all of the TNG 90s shows, and we'll get to that a bit later. But it was a lot of fun getting there. We got Bacon is here. Feels like a Garibay thing. Yes, you did pick up on the title. We couldn't think of a title, and so we went the Garibay route. And I hope that you
always
guys...
an endless wellspring of inspiration.
Yeah, read the excellent description we wrote for this as well. Won't be able to catch this one live, but I got a question on Mithras. Oh, yeah, I answered this earlier in the chat. I don't like how their XP system seems to work. What with the rolls and charisma modifier? Seems a little too random for my tastes. How has it worked out for you when you've actually played the game? Everything else about the game, I like what I'm seeing except for the experience rolls.
Interesting. I don't find it random. It's
no,
because whether or not you can, it's your charisma informs how many experience, what your experience modifier is, which is either an addition or subtraction to the number of experience rolls when the GM calls for it.
Yeah.
And they do give a reasoning as to why charisma is the appropriate attribute to use.
It's because better looking people
that is exactly what
are just better at everything.
But in order
and they
to
deserve more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously.
Yeah.
But to increase you always, if you are going to increase a particular skill, it's always going to go up at least by 1.
Yep.
And whether it can go up more than that is determined based on whatever your skill level is at the time. You essentially have to fail
Yep.
a skill roll because it's a roll under system
Yep.
in Mithras.
So the
and-
higher your skill gets, the harder it gets to
is.
improve it.
which reflects reality because
Right. There are
it's
limits.
easy to get noob gains on any skill, and it's always harder and harder to get that last bit of true mastery. Interesting. I don't
Yeah.
find the
and it's
find it random. I really like the
and
experience
it's
system.
different than like Call of Cthulhu, because the BRP systems generally, it's if you successfully used a skill, you can roll at the end of the session to see if it improves, and this can bias results. Where like some skills, it's like you use the same 3 skills every session or whatever.
Yeah.
And that all goes up. This allows you a little more freedom to increase any skill that you want, which I like. And you should be using probably more than 3 skills
Yeah,
per session.
that's right.
Not necessarily that you have to be rolling for everything, but you should be doing more than literally just combat style rolls.
right.
Oh, got another one. Alchemic Raker
Whoa.
here.
Need Hellmarch if you plan to win the next Mud War.
That's
That is
right.
true. You
That's
do need
right.
Hell
And then
March. Yeah.
People have been saying out there that the next Mud War is coming.
Yeah. It definitely
Attempts
is.
at peace have not been successful.
Not gone well. The Mud War being, of course, an upcoming feature of the
Our next project.
next project, the Shucked Oyster campaign setting.
That's right.
Is this a new reason for me to think Star Trek sucks? I can't wait to find out. Star Trek's fucking awesome. I don't know what's
Yeah.
wrong with you, Chubby.
Well, it used to be.
Well, it used to be. That's true. Got a whole bunch of people saying hello to each other.
You love to see it.
Yeah. 5 minutes. We were not 5 minutes late. You got to put pants on. Interesting. Got my print on demand of Shadow Sun and the Player's Companion.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, Shadow Sun
Hell
is very, very
yeah.
good. All of Chubby Funster's stuff is really good, as reflected by those wonderful sales medals that he has on all of them.
Oh yeah.
Feel it needs to be stated that the only Star Trek that can kill D&D is the OG. Yeah. If you read the description and the title of this video, it turns out that Star Trek did not kill WotC's VTT, and it didn't kill or destroy
It had no
Dungeons
impact on
and
D&D at all
Dagrons.
whatsoever. In fact.
Yeah, it had no impact. We just want to talk about Star Trek and
Right.
role-playing games. Like the Star Trek role-playing game that we're giving away today.
That's right.
Let's see here. Chubby Funster, nice to hear. I've been working on the first of what will be a series of Cursed Scroll-type zines to expand Shadow Sun. The
Hell
first
yeah.
one will add a Gladiator and Enforcer class, arena rules, etc.
Ooh,
Very cool.
nice.
When I first made Shadow Sun, I couldn't be sure how upset WotC might get if it were too dark sunny.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
fuck it.
Fuck it. I think it's better to draw some inspiration, but really go hard into making it your own. Correct.
Yeah. That
I
is
can see
always
the
way.
inspiration, but it's your own. Exactly. I was listening to Kelsey's last AMA, and I really liked where she's coming from. Yeah.
Yep.
Squat bench deadlift is here. I've watched absolutely no Star Trek. Admittedly, when Disparu was talking about it during a
I don't know
review
who
of
that is.
Section 31, I found myself interested. What stuff is worth watching? Not Section 31.
Oh, that's the new
That's
show.
the
or
new
that-
movie that
or
they
a new
made
movie.
that literally everybody hated.
Yeah, you know we won in our Star Trek adventure a nihilistic,
Yeah.
clandestine,
Deep State.
deep state Gestapo
Yeah.
thing. It's exactly what
Right.
the show has been about, what the universe conveys.
Right.
Yeah,
I want the
it's gonna
dark
be great.
underbelly of Star Trek, not
Right.
like the optimism and the fun space adventures and the interesting moral
Right.
quandaries.
Lies.
Yeah, what
lies for the proles.
What I want is an old Asian bitch doing kung fu.
Oh, is what's her name? Michelle something.
Yeoh, I think. Yeah,
She's gonna be.
she's the Section 31 person.
Wasn't she also a captain in one of the recent shows or
Yeah,
movies?
but I think she got shot with like a kung fu laser or something, and now
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like a badass. I don't know. It looked fucking terrible though. But I'll tell
my
you
God.
what's worth watching. Star Trek: The Original Series, absolutely worth watching. It's so fucking good, so entertaining. The Next Generation is what I grew up on.
Yep.
It is Star Trek to me. Fantastic. The first 2 seasons are rough. I will not lie about that. They're terrible. But it's really, really good after that.
DS9.
I would even suggest Voyager. I liked Voyager a lot, even though the premise is kind of just an extension of the
It's a cautionary
series finale.
tale.
Yeah, it's the series finale of Star Trek, which I'll be talking about a little bit later.
Yeah. And I've been watching Enterprise, and I really like it. Although I still haven't finished it.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the new shit. I did hear that Picard season 3 is good.
But who cares?
Checkmate, Sean.
DS9 was more gritty. That is true.
That's true, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a
It wasn't
nightmare
nihilistic.
world.
Yeah. Agree. Kelsey's AMA was great. Her head is in the right place. Correct. Primeval Fantasy is here.
What's
Good to
going
see you,
on?
man. I had to go and search her Twitter because I was looking for. I remember you posted a really cool public domain piece of art the other day by Gustav Dore, or Gustav Dor. I don't know how to say his name, but I went and searched him because I was looking for some art, and his stuff is amazing. You guys have so little faith in whether or not we're going to be on time. We're on time every stream.
That's right.
I heard this episode is arriving at warp speed.
Whoa.
Correct. Stop your grinning and drop your linen. It's another Black Lodge Games. Yeah, Shatner. Kirk is awesome. He's such a good captain. He's definitely the best one.
The first and last real Chad.
Yeah, and the Captain Kirk, what the fuck's his name? Shatner. His Twitter account is amazing. He's like posted stuff about how he goes on the 4chan TV board and Bane posts. And like, it's
Amazing.
yeah.
And still alive, amazingly.
That's Babylon 5 in the background.
That's
You're
true.
damn right. We put
Which
it there
I have been watching.
because we anticipated that people were going to get angry about that. And I also called it in the description Star Trek and Dungeons and Dagrons.
That's right.
Yeah,
The lore accurate name.
right.
And I've been loving Babylon 5 as well.
Yeah.
Despite, and maybe we'll get into this, maybe
We definitely
won't,
should.
Got hammered. I watched a couple of episodes last night, and a 1-2 punch. The 90s liberalism
Yeah.
hitting you in the gut with the 1-2 punch. Some
Yeah.
rough. They were good episodes, but the message was
Couldn't be clearer.
strong. Yeah.
And to be clear, you got hammered by the message. You didn't get hammered and watch Babylon 5.
That's right.
It is Babylon 5, yeah. All right, here's a serious ethical question. Is killing Tuvix good or evil? Definitely good.
Yeah, without a doubt. Easy question.
On one hand, if you split the pair, there's a 50% more Neelix by volume in the universe. On the other hand, you have to condemn Tuvok to a lifetime of Neelix. You're a nerd? All right. That's a slick little package. It is. It's a very cool package. Probably actually more technologically advanced than the tricorder.
Whatever
prop.
they were actually using.
Yeah. Tuvix should have been allowed to live. This was a natural spawn cycle of the planet they encountered. Splitting him was tantamount to necromancy.
I mean,
Cooks of Zahak. Modiphius has a very flexible system that can handle different levels. Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty good for the TV adventure thing as well. Having the meta currencies and it's not a story game, but
they're trying to capture what the TV
what the
show
TV
is.
show is like. And
Right.
and it does that very well.
And you all being a team, a bridge crew, and more than a bridge crew, but a crew of a Starfleet vessel.
Right. And it's like it's the character creation is very fun. It's got life paths, which are
always
great.
good.
My character, I was the chief engineer, and I rolled up 2 events, but I treated them as like being the same thing. One of the things was you have to pick like, what are your values?
Right.
And one of my prime values was that the crew is not family. And the reason was that I had this other event where someone died. I saved most people, but someone died. I had to make a sacrifice, They died because of my actions. And it was because of that my value was chosen as the crew is not family. Because it's like, no, we can't do that again.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And yes, this
was
is
fun.
Canada Dry.
Yeah, you were a human medical or no secure.
I was the chief engineer.
Yeah, that's right. You were human engineering officer. Who else did we have?
Of
course, I was the Andorian first officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was awesome.
Who was awesome.
We had, of course, a human male captain.
Yeah. What was
his name?
It was
a good one.
It was a good one.
Yeah. We had
Dirk Rockjaw.
Yeah.
Wasn't that stupid, but
and we had 2 psychic characters. I think we had like 2 half Bajorans, or at least one.
At
half
least one
Bajoran.
half Bajoran and a Vulcan. Evan's Vulcan counselor, ship's counselor.
Yeah, the Vulcan ship's counselor. Yeah, and the doctor, of course, was a drunk.
yeah.
In true original series
Right.
Bones fashion. Bones is my favorite character, by the way.
How could he not be?
He's so fucking good. They're all really good characters, though. Table Runner Crispy is doing 4D Vampire the Masquerade. Not only
I saw
that, they're using a D100 system. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's not after the Vampire Wars, I
It's
think.
popped up on my feed. I haven't watched it yet.
I watched a few minutes of it this morning before we started working. I like the evil spells you've previewed so far. I'm tired of having to think of my own evil spells and giving villains the same spells as the player's handbook. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And we got the ritual spells done.
Oh, yeah.
And they're fucking awesome.
Yep.
And we got all the golems done. Oh, man. It's good stuff. It's very, very cool. And the PDFs, someone said the PDFs will come soon. The PDFs will be coming soon. I think the week after next, the PDF will probably be ready.
I would imagine so.
Yeah,
it's going to... We're waiting on one last big piece from Dane.
Brokaker was the last real Chad. Wokirk was the last real Chad. Bespoke Cisco was a Chad and a war criminal, but he can live with it.
Yep,
That's
he
true.
can live with it. Thank you for that, Biden. That is true. Broke. Picard was the last real Chad. Picard was not really...
He wasn't a Chad per se.
He wasn't a Chad. He was not...
He wasn't like a weak-chinned...
virgin.
Yeah, he wasn't... Right. He just doesn't exist in that dichotomy doesn't... he doesn't square into that framing.
Right. Kirk is the best Chad, the best kind of Chad. But yes, Cisco is fucking awesome, and he is a madman.
Yeah.
Doesn't he nuke someone? Like he nukes a civilian population?
I hate that actor so much, though.
Avery Brooks?
Yeah.
He's apparently a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody hates working with him.
Right. Yeah.
He's a really good actor, though. And he directed a bunch of the DS9 episodes.
That's true. Yep. I think a bunch of the main cast has directed episodes. I don't know if for DS9
Jonathan
specifically.
Frakes. I mean, I think
Jonathan Frakes.
he directed.
I think
Insurrection.
what's her name? Who's B'Elanna Torres? I forget what her name.
B'Elanna Torres. I don't remember her.
From Voyager, I know
Yeah.
she did stuff. I think for Enterprise.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Soon to be American Dry. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Crispy
The
is a cool
51st
dude. I've
soda.
enjoyed him on Game Master Insight over on Legion of Myth.
Crispy is good people.
Yeah, he's awesome. I can't ever watch
running a game for Crispy and some other people on Sundays. RuneQuest.
RuneQuest. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what Crispy, Ryan Howard, and Phil.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Crispy's awesome. We have an interview with Crispy
That's
from way
true.
back when on this channel. So if you've missed that, go check it out. I was gonna say I can't ever catch Legion of Myth 'cause it's on Fridays, and then his videos aren't private, so I can never for a long time. They come out like a month later or whatever, but I never catch it anymore.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell Janeway that. Yeah. Third attempt of watching the X-Files. I love it. DS9 is the favorite series. It works fine. It illustrates that you don't always progress at a steady rate. Yep.
Yes.
The experience rolls.
Yeah, for Mithras.
How do you kill that which has no life?
With a gun.
Yeah.
I like how Cisco punches and then Q never comes back.
Yeah.
That's all that Picard had to do.
That is awesome.
Although that's bad for me because every Q episode is great. I love Q.
Where did you hear that everyone hated Avery Brooks? I've heard the opposite. Not that I'm biased because he's my favorite actor. I don't remember where I heard that, but I've heard it several times. All I know is that he's like a real beast to work with.
I never heard that. I believe it though. I remember I watched what was that like documentary or interview show? Not show. I guess it's technically a movie. The Captains, where Shatner goes around interviewing Patrick Stewart and Avery Brooks and Kate Mulgrew. I forget if he talked to Bakula or not, but yeah, like Shatner went over to Avery Brooks' house and he was wearing like a caftan and just shucking and jiving and doing like speaking in jazz talk on the piano or something. Like, I fucking hate this guy.
Shatner turned 94 5 days ago. Damn. What's the best magic system in your opinion?
Mithras, for me.
It's 5 magic systems.
Yeah,
They're
but
all
just
cool,
the way
though.
they are all cool, but they're all a unified. They have a same unified framework, right? I mean, sorcery is really cool, but so is theism. Actually, I would say theism because I hate the idea of divine magic as it's typically conceived of in like D20 games. In almost every game that has divine magic or miracles.
Sorcery is very cool in Mithras, but it's
complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Avery Brooks just sounds more awesome.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love Cisco.
Yeah.
And I love DS9, but
Crispy's unsolicited role-playing advice series is great. The man is truly a river unto his people.
that's right.
I just have not had time to watch long YouTube videos. Mostly because we've been working on cults. I'm going to be on GMI with him in June. I'm looking forward to it. Nice. wotc killed wotc's VTT.
That's true.
That is true. I mean, it was a doomed endeavor from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
It was always going to turn out this way.
right. And I was shocked though how many YouTube videos were made about the death of the wotc VTT.
Yeah. Well, finally
there was some
content
news.
to feed on.
Yeah.
Some breadcrumbs in the lake.
Yeah. Chubby Funster is dominating the Shadow Dark indie scene besides the Shucked Oyster. Yeah.
Yeah, and
For
rightly
sure.
so.
Rightly so. You'd probably make a killing if you did a Kickstarter, man.
Yeah.
You've got a big audience now. Maybe Star Trek did some of that time traveling they do so often to destroy D&D. Mission 1, save whale species. Mission 2, save humanity from D&D. Yeah. Stargate is not cooler than Star Trek.
No.
Stargate's
I say that
stupid.
with conviction, having not watched the show.
Even though I like MacGyver, I could never get into Stargate. The movie was fun. I like the
The
Kurt
movie
Russell,
was fun, but I never
James
like.
Spader.
I liked the movie. I still like the movie, but I never loved the movie, and so I was never interested in watching the show. I'd caught
I
some
watched
episodes
a bunch
when
of
it was
episodes, but it was never. It just really never grabbed me. It's Always Sunny in Shadow Sun. Did the backers of Kelsey's Kickstarter vote for the classes yet? I did not. I saw that there was an alert in the Discord, but I did not do that.
on. I didn't even know there was a vote.
Yeah, that's because you're not ever checking Discord.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
Modifius makes the kind of shiny coffee table books that mouth breathers
Stargate,
love.
More like Stargay.
Got him! Thank you for the $2 Canadian and that super creative joke. DS9 is a lot of people's favorites.
Yep.
I didn't go for newest Shadow Dark or TLG Castle Zagig. Both are expensive. That is true.
I hear you.
That is true. They're premium products with a lot of stuff.
Right.
Zagig is like 3 books or something like that.
It's big.
And it's the first of 2 Kickstarters because I think it's 5 books in total.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
holy shit.
They're fucking big.
Damn.
I wish I had more time because I do want to read Castles and Crusades.
Yeah.
But I've got so much other
There's
shit
so many other things to do
read.
right now.
Yeah. So much shit to do.
One
and
day.
read. One day we will read Castles and Crusades. It has been recommended to us many times. Mm-hmm. Enterprise really needed another season. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking online at the stuff they had planned for Enterprise, and it's going to be really cool. And what they should have done all along.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, you guys have trolled me into paying money to say Stargate is awesome.
Well, thank you for the $5. And a reminder, if you're just joining us, now that I see there's 93 people watching, apparently, we are giving away this tricorder edition box set
Hell
of
yeah.
the Star Trek Adventures RPG from Modifius. It's
Yep.
still in all the
All the
plastic.
shrink wrap.
Yeah. We have played not this copy, but other copies of this game, and it is excellent and fun.
Yes.
And we will be talking about Star Trek shortly.
Hell yeah.
And of course, it's not letting me scroll anymore.
There we go.
Q was also my favorite character.
Q
yeah.
is so good.
My niece
Which is
and-
just to say the actor, but
Yeah. My niece and nephew met Jonathan Frakes at the Indiana Comic Con a
Nice.
couple of weeks ago, but only because they loved Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. Yeah.
a true fans.
It's based.
It's based.
Yeah.
Is this thing based?
My only judgment on Avery Brooks is that he didn't know how to have Cisco look sympathetically at his son, and instead kept giving him bedroom eyes. That didn't go the direction that I thought it was going to go.
I loved Cisco. Hated Jake.
Jake was annoying.
Hated Jake.
And
And
it's like, how
It's a
did I
problem
like
with having-
Nog more than you?
right, and I
kid
like
Ferengi.
Nog more, but Nog is a race traitor against the Ferengi.
The Ferengi.
Yeah.
He joins the fucking Federation?
Stargate
Yeah.
outside the movie is mid-af.
He will not. Stargate outside the movie is mid as fuck. Thank you for the $5, Porch.
Thank you.
You're
I don't
right.
have any skin in the game.
He will have no place in the Divine Treasury.
yeah, and
yeah.
and he did that.
And Quark is
Amazing.
not only just amazing, but he's the most ethical character on the show. Like, or at least the most like he sticks to his values more than
yes,
anybody.
he has values.
He has
a
actual
philosophy,
values.
and they are traditional values from his
Planet.
planet, his people, and he's great.
I like Jake, nor the battle to the strong is Kino.
Nor the battle to the strong is Kino. That must be
don't
an
know what
episode
that is.
title.
I can't.
But yeah,
I
his
can't
home,
stand
his
with
homeworld,
Jake.
the ATM.
Yeah.
I love Quark. He's so good. There's so many good
Quark,
clips.
I think I said this before last time we were talking about Star Trek, which was several months ago. I love Garrick. He's a very,
Garrick's
very,
so good.
very
Yeah.
close second.
Yeah.
I like Quark more because through Quark we get he's our best and only window into the Ferengi culture.
Yeah,
And it's through Quark alone basically that we know anything really about the Ferengi.
And Rom.
And Ram is a lovable retard.
Yeah. Section 31 was a plot device in DS9 to question Dr. Bashir's morals. I don't like Dr. Bashir.
Yeah, I hate Dr. Bashir.
Yeah. I do
Never-
like Jadzia Dax.
And who wouldn't?
Yeah. TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, and all the TOS and TNG movies in the first reboot movie are good. Everything after that from Into Darkness onward is disappointing. I have heard that third season of Picard is back to what you wanted an additional season of TNG to be.
However,
But seasons 1 and 2 are dog shit. And I refused to watch them because I knew what was going to happen.
yeah, how could you not?
How could you not?
And I will never watch season 3 of Picard because I don't care. I
Yeah.
can watch TNG again. I can watch the TNG movies if I want to. It's too little too late. Like
Right.
the best you can say, like I said, I haven't seen it, but I'm confident the best you can say is that it was good fan service in some way, shape, or form. I don't care about fan service. I want
It's not
something
even-
that's engaging.
I've heard it's not even fan service, though. It's good Star Trek again.
Maybe. I don't think I'm going to watch it, though.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Even in DS9, there was a conversation between Quark and Garrick where they discuss how distinguishingly optimistic the Federation is. Yeah.
Right.
Always bang the green chick
That's
or the
true.
purple chick. It doesn't matter. In the Pale Moonlight, the episode, yeah. I wish they'd called Janeway Sir instead of Captain, but they didn't want to stick to their guns on that one, even though in the setting they followed the old Navy tradition.
This is a problem with having a female captain.
Yeah.
And it's a problem especially of having Kate Mulgrew
Yeah.
as a female captain. You can't you can't make her too aggressive or assertive, or she seems like an Ice Queen bitch.
Yeah.
And loses any of like the feminine aspect, which a female captain should because she's a woman.
Yeah.
And you can't lean into any of Janeway's female qualities because she seems soft.
Yeah. You could never give her a romance.
Yeah, you can't give her a romance. They tried to make her a female combination of Picard and Sisko,
Right.
and you couldn't even do that with a man. That's
Right.
just a bad idea. And you definitely can't do it with a female captain.
Yeah.
They made Ferengi into capitalist caricatures, but ended up the most interesting characters and based on women.
And based on women. The Ferengi,
Well, that was always the intention with
Yeah.
the Ferengi, even in
yeah, they were supposed to
TNG. They were supposed to be
they
the
were
main.
supposed to be the main villain like race of
Yes.
TNG, the main antagonists, but nobody responded to them. They like because at first
Right.
it's like the first episode with the Ferengi, they're just like,
Yeah, they were
like
not set up
laser
as
lips.
a reasonable threat.
Yeah, so then they tried to make them the evil capitalists, and that didn't work. Mm-hmm. And then the Borg came, like the literal space communist bug people, you know, the all-consuming locusts, and it was like, yeah, that's a real
That's
villain.
the worst threat.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
people that are just trying to make a buck.
Really?
Really,
Who are
that's
also going to be
the
consumed
existential
by the-
threat to the Federation. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
And the Borg are so uninteresting now,
yeah,
as a concept.
yeah. What should I do if I'm the captain and I run into a world of aliens that think Disney Star Wars is the gospel and they all play 5e 2024 by the book? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, you just it's completely up to you. If you're Chad enough, they'll abandon their ways and become Tradwives.
It was your jazz talk line that pushed me over the edge. It's a shame you're such a square, Tony B. Avery Brooks, heard he was a big commie. He's an actor.
He's an actor.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It would not surprise me even a little bit. Razorfist does reviews on DS9 called Depths of DS9. Very good.
I will not watch
I
Razor
can't watch
Fist.
Razor Fist.
I hate Razor Fist.
A couple of people have recommended Razor Fist to us previously on stream, and I had never watched his stuff. And then like 3 months ago, I tried watching it, and I was like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Yeah.
By all means, watch him. I don't. We're not trying to yuck your yum, as they say, but I can't do it. Wait a minute. So how did Star Trek kill D&D? It didn't.
That's
it was
the thing.
clickbait. We didn't know how to say, let's talk about Star Trek. We were afraid no one would watch if we didn't have the words WotC and VTT and D&D. This would be the first video that we've done that's legitimately clickbait.
Clickbait.
Yeah. I only knew the VTT came out after a friend who's still into 5e told me it was. I tried to download it, and then I realized I was using my Mac and I couldn't use it. And I was like, well,
I also did not know it came out.
I'm surprised they actually launched that VTT, to be honest. I figured they'd just quietly be rid of it. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been better for them. They would have avoided the PR.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
What is this? Dungeon craft. This is also bait.
This is also bait. Yeah. Thank you for the $5, Rob McKenna. Stargate Atlantis is awesome, though.
I wouldn't know.
That sounds... I'm sorry, it sounds retarded, man. Atlantis? I can't do it. Fantasy RPG, I've heard Brooks was just... Oh, he's talking Primeval. That's stupid. I've heard Brooks was just trolling because he didn't like Bill Shatner. That would be funny.
That would be funny.
That would also be weird to not like William Shatner.
Yeah. That makes me like him less.
William Shatner is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, how could you not like him?
Got me on the clickbait.
It's
Nice.
working.
Australian $2. Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
I haven't read Castles and Crusades either, but I've had it for a year now. Nice.
Ah.
Is this is a critique of episodic gameplay? No. You've been baited. We just wanted to talk about Star Trek and give away Star Trek Adventures RPG in this wonderful tricorder box set. Enterprise was sabotaged from the beginning. So many ground floor mistakes, including the cast. I liked the people in... I liked the Doctor.
I liked the cast. The Doctor was awesome.
Yeah, the Doctor was awesome. And he makes an appearance in the Orville.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's
they
funny.
get a lot of people. I'm telling you, man, you got to give the Orville a chance. It's like there's just a different Star Trek show. It's got the Family Guy humor in it and whatever. Norm Macdonald voiced a gelatinous alien that's a member of the crew.
All right, that's funny.
Like I
do love Norm
the plots
Macdonald.
are funny. They're not always funny, but it's like the plots are serious though. They're serious Star Trek episodes.
Okay. I'll get around to it.
Yeah, it's really good. A lot of the Star Trek actors make appearances over time as different characters.
Yeah. I love the casting of Enterprise, though.
Yeah, because Seth MacFarlane is like a huge Trekkie. I can't support Modiphius after seeing them repeatedly fundraise for rioters and looters multiple times during the 2020 riots. Very un-Trek. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
I hear you. I totally get it. I can't.
But
I
counterpoint, you're not giving them any money.
Yeah.
If you're entering into the raffle.
That's true. Yeah. I understand. There are some companies I won't buy from, but it's hard. It's hard to keep track of them all.
Right.
Like
They've all funded rioters and looters.
Yeah, I feel like I just can't keep track of it. Everyone likes Nog more than Jake. Nog had goals. Jake wanted to be a writer. There's no money in that.
I don't even remember what Jake wanted to do. I don't care. Yeah.
There's no money in that.
There's no money in that. Yep.
Well, according to Star Trek: The Next Generation universe, there's no money anyway.
That's true.
Because we've moved on
from money.
Which is just it's just a fucking
ridiculous.
retcon. Okay, we're gonna start talking about Star Trek right now. Star Trek: The Original Series I had never seen, and it's so good, and it's so different than all of the Star Trek that I grew up with. There is such a sense of life to it, and everyone is really good looking. Like the two hottest people in all of the 90s Star Treks are like the average female guest star on a original series Star Trek episode. It's insane. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone is fun. They're all out just having adventures. It's America in space. And the Federation is capitalist. They have money. They reference that Starfleet, had to pay a lot of money to get this ship going, and you got to earn your pay this week, and all this stuff. They're constantly having to do resource running missions. Like, resources are not infinite. We have not moved into the post-scarcity
world,
luxury gay space communism thing that everyone thinks of as Star Trek, and they always try to throw it in your face. Well, it's a socialist state. It's like no. That's a fucking retcon that they brought into the newer series in the 90s
Yep.
that was very dumb and very bad and caused a lot of internal
was
inconsistencies and problems. It made no
90s
fucking
Trek,
sense.
90s Trek is the liberal world order in space, where you're completely right. Star Trek or Starfleet, the Federation, is America
Yeah.
in the original conception.
Right. And but it's amazing. It doesn't have the kind of technobabble that you get in TNG. The TNG is very
Infamous for
everyone has a libido in the original series. Like everyone's getting laid, everybody's like having romances.
Hardcore Quentin Mudd, yeah.
Hardcore Quentin Mudd. What is that?
He's one of the recurring characters in the original series. He's like that mountebank guy.
Yeah. Hello, Captain.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of episodes that are kind of like proto TNG episodes where you can see like there's one where they go to this planet and there's this godlike alien being, which is a recurring thing in TOS. He's super advanced, but he can basically like make anything appear and do anything. He's sort of like this proto Q, but he's like this kind of like childlike entity who's very capricious and whatnot. And that guy comes back later in Trouble with Tribbles and is a Klingon. And it's some of the episodes are very serious and very good, but there's always such there's a lighthearted sense of adventure. We're flying around the fucking galaxy, solving problems, banging hot chicks. What do we got
Babylon
here?
5 is superior to 9 in every way. Fight me.
I don't know. They're
So-
both good.
If I can briefly give my response, having watched, I don't know, like 6 episodes of it so far, my feeling, we'll see when I'm going to watch the whole thing in the appropriate watch order with the movies and whatever. My feeling is that the story of Babylon 5, the broad arc of, the big plot points,
Yeah.
is probably going to be better than DS9. But having watched those last 2
Yeah.
cringe episodes, the message, when it appears in individual episodes, will be way more egregious than it even was in DS9.
Yeah.
The sets in Babylon 5 are so much better than DS9. And I love DS9. I love DS9. But the sets and the world building it's just better. It's not a contest.
Yeah. The characters in the original series are phenomenal. And the thing that is the most interesting is that in a lot of these
Dane's
shows.
in the chat.
Oh, Dane's here.
Dane
Nice.
is a resident Star Trek expert.
Dane, we're giving away the Star Trek Adventures RPG tricorder box set right now.
Yeah, which we have to get. Dane is coming to town in May. We
Nice.
got to have Hallie run Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dane, you gotta move to Texas, man.
Yeah, that's the whole point of
Yeah.
why I'm.
Okay. Did I get a spoiler warning? Yeah. Dane, by the way, is the one who's done the Golem art and is
Yes.
working on a wonderful new picture for us as well for Shadows of Ravlock. Anyway,
The characters.
So Picard, he's not exactly surrounded by yes men. But his officers don't stand up to him in the same way that Spock and Bones do with Kirk. Like they're constantly at odds with each other. What are you laughing at?
I've just Dane's comment about being a pack lid, and do you remember the pack lid, the fat failure? We are strong. Where Geordi saves their
yeah.
ship. We are strong now.
We are strong now.
now.
Yeah. They got the brow and
The jowls.
yeah. You will fix it. But yeah, they're constantly challenging Kirk, and Kirk always has final say. And like his orders, they're carried out, and most of the time he's right. And he's doing these things, and it was such a clear difference from the Next Generation era Next Generation, in comparison, which is still I think my favorite Star Trek series. I love Next Generation.
Mine too.
It felt so sterile
in comparison.
To the original series. It was so weird, and the crew dynamic was very different.
Put me in the draw for Dane then.
All right, we will do.
We will.
All right, thank you. But the characters are so great. Spock is an excellent character. People talk about how the acting on Star Trek was terrible, and Kirk is over the top, but he's doing it, I think, perfectly for what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Like,
he's conveying. It's not meant to be like realistic per se.
Yeah.
He's conveying the American adventure spirit in space.
Yeah, and it's so weird. He's Canadian, but he's an honorary American. Yeah, but Spock is like Leonard Nimoy was so good at acting as Spock because there are these rare tiny moments where like a little bit of emotion comes through, but it's not hammy and there's the difference between someone like Spock and Tuvok is Tuvok was basically supposed to just be Data,
right?
And Data
is way better.
Oh, obviously,
of course,
obviously. But Data was also supposed to sort of take the role of a Spock-like character, but they're very, very different. Yeah,
right.
And played very differently. But Spock, you can tell it's like there's an actual character there, and there are something
emotions
going on. There are emotions. They're completely under control. But it's so good. And Bones, Dr. McCoy, is the best character, and he's probably not actually even a doctor. Because all he does is drink. And then he's like, they're on a planet and someone gets injured and he goes, Jim, if this guy doesn't get excellent medical attention, he's going to die. And it's like, you're the doctor.
I know, but not like that.
Yeah.
I didn't say I was a great doctor.
Yeah.
I never said that, Jim.
Yeah. But and Spock and Bones have this like rivalry and they don't like each other, but they do like each other. It's just so fucking good. I gotta say, Chekhov, great. What's his face? Sulu. I hate Sulu. And it's not just because I don't like George Takei. I legitimately hate that character.
Yeah.
In the second and third season, he has way less screen time. But the first season, he's just bad. He is a bad actor.
Yeah, and he doesn't really do much. He's a bad actor and doesn't get to do much, and the only thing anyone ever remembers about Sulu is the only thing memorable that ever happened to Sulu, which is when he goes crazy in one of the original first episodes and fights with like a rapier or something without a shirt throughout the hallways of the Enterprise. 'Cause I have watched up to the first season. I haven't seen any of the I haven't rewatched any of the subsequent seasons yet. I will do that, but if there's less and less of him,
he
in those
gets
subsequent seasons, then there's nothing interesting about it.
Way less screen time. The second season is the best, in my opinion. The third season really was not as good as the first two, but it ended on a really pretty impactful political message in the series finale, which is that women should not be starship captains.
Which they should have listened.
Yeah, they then spun that off into a show called Star Trek Voyager.
And proved
everything
Kirk right.
Yeah. The series finale, which this is not part of a multi-episode arc, I'm going to ruin it for you, is hilarious. It's a Freaky Friday. It's a body switch.
McCoy, Spock, and Kirk are heart and mind. Other soul is why McCoy and Spock are always at odds, and Kirk is the great unifier.
Yeah, and he's the great decider. But the final episode, I'm going to spoil this thing for you because it's too good not to talk about. And I had it spoiled for me, so I knew it was coming, but it was very funny. The final episode of Star Trek, the original series, it got canceled, not renewed. This was not a way to like, we're going to end the series like this. It just was the last episode. It's a body swap where this former love interest of Kirk, of course, body swaps with him, takes over his body, and is now the captain. Like she's planning on killing him, but she can't get away with it. And so the whole crew immediately knows something's wrong with Kirk because he's acting
Not like
crazy,
right.
Not like the captain.
Women shouldn't be starship captains. Priests or have the vote.
Thank you for the wonderful political commentary for $5. But it gets to the point where like they immediately know something is wrong, and so like Bones is like, we have to give you a psychological examination, Captain. Like I think there's something
wrong
He's
with
like, you can't make me do that. And it's Kirk doing his best, like
to be a woman.
I'm a woman. Yeah, like, it's so funny. It's so funny. But it's a woman gets in control of the starship, and within 30 minutes, the crew is forced to mutiny, and they don't even know that it's a woman.
That's funny.
Spock finally figures it out because Kirk wakes up and tells him. And he's like, look, read my mind. You'll know it's me. And he's like, okay, I believe you, but I don't have evidence. And so then Kirk, he's violating the captain's orders. And so evil woman Kirk is like, we're going to court-martial you, Spock. Everybody get in here right now. We're going to have a trial. So they run this trial, and he's acting completely crazy.
Right. Totally hysterical.
Yeah. And so then when they're like, okay, we're going to have to take a recess and come back and do a vote on this, Scotty comes up to Bones outside, and he's like, that isn't the captain, and you know it, Bones. You know it. And he's like, well, how can we be sure? I mean, Starfleet, we don't have any evidence, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I've served with Captain Kirk for 5 years. I've seen him angry. I've seen him drunk. I've seen him giddy with elation. But I've never seen him red-faced with hysteria.
Oh, my God.
And, of course, they walk in.
It was a better world back then.
Yeah, and female Kirk goes, computer, play back the conversation that we were listening to out in the hallway. And it's like them talking about mutiny. He's like, you realize this is mutiny, don't you? Like, we're going to sentence you to death. And everyone's like, you can't give him the death penalty.
Oh, God.
You can't do an execution. And so the rest of the crew stops following her orders.
Yeah.
And she gets so mad.
You can't do that.
And then for some reason they body swap again at the end. And
It all worked out.
It all worked out.
Thank God.
She's crying hysterically, like, I wanted to be captain. And they were right. Women should not be the starship captain.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you'll
Otherwise,
get
you
lost
get
in the Delta
Quadrant.
Quadrant
Yeah.
for years and years.
Yeah. It's the fucking funniest thing ever, though. But it's a great show.
Oh, man.
Oh man, it's very, very funny. But Kirk is like super based the entire time. Like there's this episode where they pick up this Cleopatra type character. I think the species name is the Cleopatrans or something. And she's like being married off to another planet because they have war and something like that.
bullshit.
And she's like, she's throwing tantrums and throwing things at people, and people have to on her planet have to obey her every whim. And Kirk's like, not on my starship.
You're not in the longhouse.
Yeah,
anymore.
he tells her, he's like, I'm going to teach you some manners. And he's like, if you don't stop acting this way, I will have to do what on Earth is called spanking. And she freaks out and she slaps him, and he slaps her back. It's like, Picard would never do that.
Yeah.
He just slaps her. It's so fucking funny. Oh, man.
It is too bad that, like, Kirk dies in the movies.
Yeah.
Because, like, Bones shows up for one episode, and he's old as fuck, the actor on TNG.
Yeah.
And Scotty shows up on that episode. It would have been amazing for Kirk and Picard to have an episode.
Right. Instead of that shitty
They should have
movie.
even just... I don't care if it was they should have made it a holodeck episode. And
And had a Shatner.
old, Shatner show up. That would
Who
have been
wasn't
so
that
amazing.
old at that time.
Who wasn't that old, yeah.
You know, Professor DM has to fill some air when he reads clickbait comments in his videos. I don't think so. I mean, he gets so many of those. We get comments.
Oh, yeah.
And I post them in private chats with
Yes.
my response, which is usually not very nice. But sometimes you just get something that it's just irritating. Gets under your skin, you know?
Yep.
And he's too nice back to the commenters. He's
Right, which is always a mistake.
which is always a mistake. He's
Be
always
like
doing
Kirk and slap these people back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Teach them some manners.
Yeah, but I highly recommend watching Star Trek: The Original Series. It
Yeah.
is absolutely phenomenal. It's very entertaining. There's some real stinker episodes in there. Particularly, oh man, towards the end of season 3, there's a one I told you about where the hippies
Oh, yeah.
take over and then they land on the planet where everything's made of acid and they die because they eat the fruit, which is the happy ending. But there's it's a really, really fun show. It's much more of an adventure series than what Star Trek is thought of as being this like nerdy, like, oh, you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
fucking tachyon particles and
Who gives a shit about that?
yeah. No, it's like, this is America. We're going through space. You know, we're blowing things up.
Blowing things up.
We're not always playing by the rules. You know, I make the decisions that have to be made, and it works out because I'm the captain and I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Simple as. And it's full of beautiful women. The characters are all excellent. The female characters are great for the most part too. I do think that Nurse Chapel got shafted. She was the first officer in the pilot,
The pilot episode. Yeah, yeah.
and then she got downgraded to Nurse Chapel.
Yeah.
And she was a better actor than the part that they gave her. But it's really, really good. I fucking love original series Star Trek. It was so much fun to watch. Now I get to watch the movies, which I've only seen a few of. I've seen all the next gen ones.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we got? What are people talking about?
Star Trek Enterprise had the best Doctor and perhaps the second best Vulcan. That's true.
Yeah.
The Vulcan on Enterprise was great.
Was great.
And,
And the
I like the
doctor,
Doctor.
Dr. Phlox is amazing.
I like the Doctor from Voyager though. The emergency medical hologram.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah, he's
he is
fucking
He is
awesome.
the best. I love Dr. Phlox, and I don't usually like those types of characters, like these whimsical, overly optimistic, cheerful characters. But that actor pulled it off.
Yeah. Remember, for the time, a Japanese actor on a big show was taboo considering World War II. Same thing having a Russian on the bridge.
That's true.
That's true.
Yep. Roddenberry making his point.
Yeah. In the pilot episode, Captain Pike, says to the first officer or to someone, he's like, I just never can get used to having women on the bridge.
He was right. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Enterprise did have the hottest Vulcan. That's correct.
Yep.
A woman captain who got lost.
Yeah.
Correct. That's exactly. It's like,
And sabotaged her the first opportunity to get back.
to get back immediately. Blew it up in the first
keep
episode
power
to
over
keep
the,
power over
over the crew.
over the crew, and then every opportunity that they had to go home, she sabotaged in some way. She's a very evil person that got a lot of people killed.
Right. Yes. She should not have been made captain.
Right, and they should have mutinied as
They should have mutinied.
the original series people did. Yeah,
Yeah.
You blew up the way home.
Yeah. And if
We have to fly for 70 years to get home.
yeah, and that actually would have been an interesting angle, because you have in Voyager, is this true? Yeah, I think this is true. It's the only captain first officer relationship where there's real contention.
Yeah.
Chakotay is like a rebel. He's part of the Maquis.
Maquis, yeah, he's a fucking terrorist.
And he was a captain
right.
before.
Yeah.
So this is a downgrade for him. But unfortunately, you have not Kate Mulgrew. You have Janeway and Chakotay, who's also a terrible character and
Yeah.
a boring character. you couldn't have an interesting dynamic regardless.
All that
And
said,
B'Elanna and Tom Paris were also Maquis, right?
Tom Paris was not. Tom Paris was named something else in Next Generation. He was in that episode where
with,
Wesley
Wesley.
they do the maneuver.
The whatever the hell
And they
maneuver
get
it
someone
was.
killed. Yeah.
Right.
But because they didn't want to pay royalties to the writer of that episode, they renamed Tom Paris so that
It's the same
it's
character.
literally
different
the
name.
same character, but it's a different name. But all that being said, I still really enjoyed Voyager.
Yeah.
It is still a good show. It's just
It is a good show.
in comparison to the other Star Trek shows.
And
It's not as good.
much to Kate Mulgrew's distress, they were 100% right to hire Jerry Ryan to save that show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and save it she did.
Yeah.
And she was apparently very mean to Jerry Ryan.
Yes. So I've heard.
I like Jeffrey Hunter. I saw TOS in its first reruns on network TV. Nice. Did they accidentally show that women should not be starship captains? No, that was the point of the episode.
Yeah, they didn't accidentally show it. They purposely
They
showed it.
purposely showed it, and then they made an entire series out of it called Star Trek Voyager. McCoy and Spock are foils for Kirk. All of the characters are part of the main character, which is the ship. The main character is Captain Kirk. It's not the ship in this case.
It is the ship in TNG for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody.
Yeah. Best Star Trek episode of a non-Trek series is the Futurama one. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anne Toyle, classic woman move, destruction of reputation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hysteria is a word we should bring back. Join BLG every Thursday for Star Trek Radio Theater. Yeah.
That's right.
Scotty, we're talking about mutiny here. Oh, and Scotty, here's another thing. Everyone loves Scotty. He's a terrible character. The reason Scotty is a terrible character is because they cannot ever decide who Scotty is. Because when he's ever, it's like the first season, he's literally always like, Captain, I can't do that. The ship will explode. Like he's a complete fucking coward and bitch until all of the other
Also on
officers.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, Galaxy Quest is excellent. I'll get to that in a minute.
Is that the Tim Allen movie?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Every time the officer corps goes down and it's Scotty on the bridge, when he's in control of the ship, now Scotty's in control and Scotty's a man and Scotty can make the decisions, the tough ones. But any other time he's a complete bitch, and then he's a simp to every chick that he gets interested in. Like big time.
That's
And
not
then
good.
sometimes he's a buffoon. There's small areas where they give him something good, and the actor's great. It's not the actor, but the character is all over the place, and most of the time is either a bumbling fool, a coward, or a simp.
Not good.
And then as soon as the ship has no officer, Scotty's got it. Like he's back in
Somehow.
control somehow now. Oh, this is the one where Kirk gets stabbed. I don't know. I don't think he got stabbed in that one. ARS $100. I don't know what kind of money that is.
Come on, Biden.
Come on, Biden. Come on, President Biden. All right.
All right.
I enjoyed Voyager as I enjoyed a microwave frozen pizza.
There are some good characters some really good characters. Obviously, 7 of 9 and the Doctor.
Yeah.
They're the best dynamic and the two best characters.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Paris and B'Elanna as
Yeah.
well. Harry Kim sucks.
What about Paris and Janeway? When they break the transwarp barrier and get turned into geckos, and they breed, and then
I
they
forgot about that.
reverse evolve them back into humans somehow.
That's so retarded.
It was a very dumb episode.
Yeah. Well, there's always some.
Here's the other thing. They constantly talk about in... I may be getting this wrong about TNG, but I know they could never go beyond warp 9.9. And there was this like transwarp barrier. And the Borg had broken the transwarp barrier and could go faster than warp 9. And in the last episode of TNG, when you get future Picard and everybody, that Enterprise that's run by Frakes at the time,
right,
can go past warp 10. But this is supposed to be a technological leap they've done. That episode of Voyager, they break the transwarp barrier, go past warp 10. This like changes their DNA or something. They go past warp 10 all the fucking time in the original series. Like all the time.
Don't they go to the edge of the galaxy?
They exit the galaxy and are like flying towards another one at like warp 15 or something like that. Which it's because these like super aliens took over, but then they convinced the super aliens, no, just come back. You're basically human now. Come back to our galaxy. And they go, okay. And then they can't go warp 10 after that again. It's like they undid the fixes, the efficiency upgrades they gave the ship. Like, just forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go faster than warp 10 all the time. And it's always not by their own means. It's someone else doing something to the ship and finding a way from keeping the ship from flying apart, you know, as
or they go fast by not going through warp, right? Of course, Q could do it. Or...
No. They literally go past warp 10. Like the ship is... yeah.
Right, I'm saying both instances happen.
Yeah. Did we get another... No, we didn't. Okay.
I think that was a sub.
All right. I have to watch the original series again. I don't remember any of this. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really, really good. By season 3, they wanted to stop spending money on the show. Thus, so much of season 3 had crap plots based on them walking around the lot looking for sets and costumes to base episodes on. Exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
I will admit this is the best pitch I've ever heard for Star Trek. Maybe I should watch it at some point.
You should.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. The original Star Trek is so much fun. Unironically fun. Cisco would slap a bitch, yeah. Kirk and TNG would have been genius, yeah. An aid were
it's in
it's not great. It's called Star Trek Generations. Oh yeah. The first TNG movie was a crossover and it was very dumb. The animated series is fun too. It feels weird to have such short Star Trek episodes, but has tons of character and wonder. I've wondered about that because I think they got the original cast to actually voice that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it was in the 70s. It was like a few years after the series ended.
The show ended. Yeah.
Star Trek V is the best Trek film. Is that the one with the whales? Original is about exploration. TNG is about philosophy. Deep Space Nine is about diplomacy. And Voyager is about female drivers. Yeah.
Definitely right about the last one.
Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home happen immediately after each other. It's like a huge single episode. Correct. Trip and Topol from Enterprise had great chemistry.
Yes.
And then she broke the rules to get back. Yeah, after half of her crew had already died. But that's the thing. She didn't break the rules. She didn't break the rules to get back. They got back. Everyone was old. A bunch of people died. She went back in time and broke the rules.
Yep.
Janeway was weird. She was usually mad, but there's an odd episode in which she's insanely based. Yeah.
I never got into Voyager because the characters seemed flat and dry compared to the ones on Babylon 5.
I would say Babylon 5 is better than Voyager, but Voyager is still a good show.
Voyager is a good show.
And as much as I'm shitting on Janeway, I do still like Janeway.
Yeah. The thing is, the worst characters are the highest ranking characters.
Yeah, they're the people in charge. The ones responsible
the captain,
for
the first
all the pain
officer,
and suffering.
And I guess the lowest ranking officer. Yeah. Janeway, Chakotay, and Kim are
Yeah.
forgettable characters, largely.
7 of 9 and the Doctor were far and away the best 2 characters on
Of
Voyager.
course.
Yeah.
And it's no contest.
I kind of like Neelix.
Neelix is funny.
Oh, someone mentioned, I almost said Galaxy Gas. Galaxy Quest. Love Galaxy Gas, by the way. I liked Galaxy Quest a lot. It's a lot of fun for people who like Star Trek. It's also just a funny movie. I love Tim Allen. I think he's a very funny person. He was hilarious on Norm's podcast as well. I like Galaxy Quest.
Haven't seen it.
It's got Tony Shalhoub in it.
Really?
And, yeah, and he's
I love Tim Allen.
you know the premise, right?
No.
Oh, dude, it's great. So it's like basically the actors of
Oh wait,
Star
is
Trek.
is it? He's an actor.
They're all actors, yeah, but like aliens
they're
get the
abducted by
broadcast,
aliens because- yeah,
because they believe
yeah.
that they're actually, yeah. Tony Shalhoub, in the '60s show, played an Asian character, so he'll look at the camera and he'll do this thing where he's like. He just squints a little. That's like,
Yeah.
like how he played an Asian.
Yeah.
Poor Scotty, what are we gonna do, Captain? It's like, shut up. A sequel would be fumbled by contemporary Hollywood. Scotty admits in the TNG episode he shows up in that he pretends that he's all out of options and that things will take longer than they should so he can be the hero. He's never the hero, though. He's been the hero like maybe one time. Harry Kim was cast into an alternate universe. Voyager did give us more Barclay, which was great. I love Barclay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Barclay's great.
One of my favorite scenes from anything is when Scotty is confused why the computer doesn't respond. The person points to the mouse and he obviously thinks, oh, then picks up the mouse and says, computer? Hello, computer? I have no time for the TOS movies. Wrath of Khan was the best of those, but none of them carry the true spirit of the TOS show. Instead of making movies, they almost did a new series. Wish they had. The Enterprise D went
That is
faster than
true.
10 with the Traveler. That's correct. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm talking about, though. Like the Traveler, that's like an external force.
It's something other than warp travel.
Yeah, it's something other than warp travel. There's times where someone tinkers with the engines on the Enterprise, and it goes
Maybe
faster
it is
than warp 10, and
actually
it's fine.
Still warp travel. I don't remember.
Well, it is still warp travel.
Okay.
If they're saying we're going warp 10, they're going that fast. But it's like the thing is they tinker with the engines, and then they make peace with the people who had taken over the ship, and then they can't go more than warp 10 again. It's like they undid all the shit.
Why can't we do this anymore?
The warp scales were supposed to be different TOS to TNG. The TNG system was supposed to be 10 equals infinity, but the writers didn't listen. Animated series is canon. Okay. I don't like the Maquis. It breaks the lore of Star Trek. Yes.
I don't even remember what the lore implications of the Maquis are.
Akuchi Boya! Yeah, I'm not. By the end of Voyager was basically the Doctor and Seven show. I mean,
Yeah.
it should have been. Mm-hmm. Alan Rickman was good, yeah. O'Brien is the Job of Star Trek. Bloody Cardies. Yeah. Cardassians, I assume. When I watched the original series, I really enjoyed the first 5 episodes. After that, it really is redundant. The scenario was always one person getting sick in the crew, and then they need to find out who, lol. Yeah. There's a lot of repetition in the premise. Like, especially in the first season, there's a lot of someone is psychic and doing something with their mind. They can do things with their mind. And the reason that is because it's very cheap, and you can just zoom in on their face to be like, powers, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you watched Star Trek The Lower Decks? I have not. Undiscovered Country is basically a longer TOS episode with a higher budget.
One of the movies.
Thoughts on the meta plot where the high warp is tearing the universe apart in TNG, so they ban going fast? That sounds
Yeah, that's stupid.
retarded. I took undergrad medieval lit, Old English, and Beowulf with the creator of Barclay. Nice.
That's cool.
The
Like
Excelsior
the guy who...
created the character.
Okay.
The Excelsior was supposed to hit transwarp speed as well, though we never see it, and then they never mentioned it again. Yeah. The costumes, $11.43. All that being said, Star Trek is a lot of fun
Yes.
to watch. It's also a lot of fun to play.
That's right.
So if you guys want to get in on this, it's $5
Also,
for an entry to get this
unironically,
wonderful
they do a-
tricorder Star Trek Adventures RPG box set.
They do a great
Contains-
job in the book of explaining not only obviously how the game works and what the mechanics are, but what does it actually mean to be a Starfleet officer? You start out, everybody is competent. Even if you're not the doctor, everybody has like basic medical training or triage. Even if you're not the chief engineer, everybody has a little bit of interdisciplinary skill because that would be required. And you are a Starfleet officer. You are the best of the best.
Yeah. Dane says if I win, they'll claim it's rigged. They claim it's rigged every week.
Every time.
Doc Flamingo just stopped in.
What's
He's
going on,
actually a
dude?
winner of one of these past things, and he was claiming it was rigged as the wheel was spinning until
then
it
he-
landed on his name. It's definitely not rigged. But tell me again, and tell the folks at home, your experience watching Babylon 5,
Man.
which
So,
also appears on our thumbnail.
I'm loving it so far. Like I said, the sets are way better. The costumes are way better. The world building is way better. But there were 2 episodes, almost in direct succession, one after the other. And one is way worse than the other one. They're both quite bad. And again, this is like early 90s. I think it's 93 is season 1 of Babylon 5. So we're in like the latter portion of TNG era, I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was what, 94?
Either
I'm
way,
gonna look it
we're in that TNG DS9 era. And you have episodes in Star Trek where it's about a political. Okay, so that
Well, Test Pilot movie was 1993. Show came out.
came out in 94, right? So maybe we're it's
Right on
concurrent
the
with. Regardless, we do have moments in 90s Star Trek where the message does come through, but never to like an egregious degree, at least that I can remember off the top of my head. So I'm watching it. There's some great characters, some interesting plots. Something weird was done to Sinclair by the Mabari. There's these psychops, and Chekhov is a villain, and he looks awesome. It's really, really cool. The CGI is terrible, but now it's become quirky and kitsch in a way. And then they hit you with the racism episode, and this the episode opens up the pre-credit roll little vignette, and it's the Mabari ambassador talking with her good friend from the planet, and she's this nice virtuoso, very erudite artistic poet woman, and she's going around the galaxy, and she's just reading her poetry and doing her poetry. And then this shadowy, she's walking back to her quarters. A shadowy guy in a all blacked out suit just stabs her in the alleyway. Stay out of Earth, and brands her on the forehead with a male and female sign, which is these anti-alien, pro-human
Heroes.
terrorists who have been committing who have been committing murders. There's already been like 8 murders in like a week and a half of
On a space
on a
station.
space station. And again, it's all the aliens who are getting murdered, and all the aliens who are upset and fearful. I'm just going about my business. I'm just, isn't it gee whiz? Isn't it a great day to be alive on Babylon 5? And I love paying my taxes and, going to work. And
I just love being an alien.
on Babylon 5. Life is great. There's air in my lungs, and it's a good day. There's no, it's a complete straw man of this group called the Home Guard, who are these, again, pro-human, these anti-alien, pro-human,
Right.
human terrorists and assassins and fifth column people. And there's a B plot line with Londo's nephew. These 2 star-crossed lovers. We have arranged marriages, but we love each other.
Yeah.
And then they get stabbed. Or like, no, the nephew
Excuse
gets
me.
shot.
According to Webster's, murder is killing a human.
Thank you, Doc Bullego.
Your Honor, these men can't be criminals. They were killing creatures, not humans. And it's so funny because it's a total caricaturized straw man. There's no way anyone would be opposed to alien immigration on Earth, or
I welcome it.
I welcome it as the galaxy-wide metropolitan that I am.
Just ask yourself, like, how much better would GDP be?
Yeah. How many? Yes, exactly.
Like, think of how big the line, like how much it could
Not
go
much.
up. It could go up so much.
High. You know how big the galaxy is?
Yeah.
Do you know how many economic units there are out there on all these planets? This is like the best.
Just imagine if we had a trillion more widgets
Yeah.
to bring on. Yeah,
exactly,
that we could just
to
interchange.
extract wealth from.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And what's her name? Ivanova, the sort of second in command chick, had a fling 8 years ago with this British guy who comes back, and it turns out he's also one of the bad racism guys. And there's a romantic plot line. He gives her a rose, and it's, wow. It's just like that other time 8 years ago, he got me a rose when we weren't on this space station. We were on a different space station. But long story short, they get him on camera saying evil, bad racism things, and then the camera like zooms in on her, and she's devastated, but she's angry because she's the military career woman. And the Sinclair has this plan to get her. Like, are you all right? I am, Commander, but just promise me one thing. When you take him down, I want to be there. It's so terrible. And it's just in your face. Sinclair is so mad at these, like...
Someone was
we gotta
fucking racist against aliens on my ship.
He's talking with Garibaldi, the sec officer, like... Do what you gotta do. I want to find this scum. They're so mad. This is the worst thing you could do on this ship. And then, like 2 episodes later, there's the even worse episode.
Your neighbor might sweet acid in your cork or might breathe a nerve gas. Think of the economic benefits.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $5.
Yeah, man. And then there's the even darker episode where...
As you're talking about the GDP, are we a Ferengi?
Yeah. Ferengi, Ferengi would somehow make things cooler, though.
Oh, of course.
Compared to, like, the galactic UN
Right.
running the economy.
You haven't watched The Expanse yet, have you?
No. I watched the
Oh.
first couple episodes of it.
The way that Earth is depicted in that is like...
It's horrific because you
It's
see
the bad ending of
it's the true bad ending, 'cause you
it's
see,
just
like, the
Prague
UN.
welfare state,
exactly
global,
Right.
UN, like
Yeah,
it's
I remember
terrible.
I mean, they sent like in episode 1 right off the bat. There's the BIPOC UN representative, who goes to torture the Belter.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's either a Belter or a Mars person, but they're just like hanging him from his arms on hooks.
Yeah, and he's lanky because he's born in low gravity.
Yeah, it's like
or
he
something.
can't handle gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
pretty funny when like later on, the Mars delegation like comes to Earth, and they've all been like lifting weights and training, and like they have to take these special drugs, and they're like, just like do your thing, walk straight, don't get distracted.
Yeah.
And like one of them like immediately like falls
Imagine
over and
if
starts
an
vomiting.
alien's
They're all like,
arrived
"Fuck,
and
you're
said,
embarrassing
You're
us."
ruining it.
Ideology here.
Imagine if when aliens arrived, they said, "Oh
Five
wow."
with Sinclair's like 10 with Tasha Yar. Shit picks up when Sheridan takes over.
I was
Yeah.
looking at his Wikipedia
Yeah.
entry, and apparently it wasn't any like bullshit or the studio. The actor who played Sinclair was having paranoid hallucinations that
Yeah.
were getting like worse. Like it sounds like he had like legitimate schizophrenia or something. And I don't think he did anything other than a couple episodes of Law and Order after Babylon 5.
Right. Robin Cannon for $5 said, "If when aliens arrived here, they said, 'Oh wow, they have every ideology here.'" Yep. Thank you
Which
for
is
$5.
already a big point, like a selling point. Like, yeah, that's what's great about being human. Like in Babylon 5, they're having like a show and tell of your world religion episode. Like, show your nation's beliefs and culture, and the human. They end it with like the human's contribution, and it's so stupid, but it's
They
meant
come
to
in
be.
and kill all the aliens now.
It's just a huge line of all the different denominations of like philosophies, and of course they start with an atheist. It's
God.
like John Smith, an atheist, Father O'Flanagan, and a Catholic priest, and they go on. They have Native American tribesmen and
Yeah.
all this nonsense. But yeah, that's it. That's the '90s, the '90s vision. But briefly, this other episode, it's the parental choice medical procedure episode. There's
Yeah.
an alien family, and the kid has alien cystic fibrosis. He has a lung condition, and he just needs this simple surgery. It's a simple procedure, but damn it, these aliens, these backwards superstitious religioids, they believe in some sort of stupid entity, and they don't want their kid. They're literally
Oh, really? You think your Sky Daddy is going to save you?
going to save your
Yeah.
son. Yeah, like that multiple times the doctor and his assistant like accuse the parents directly and to the commander. They want their child to die. I don't think you're listening to me. I feel like we're having some cross signals here. That's literally not what happens. But the doctor goes on. Initially, the beginning of the episode, the doctor is like, well, we have to mediate. We have to basically lie and fool these dumb rubes. So eventually the parents will get over their stupid superstition and will do what we should have done from the beginning, which is just put this kid under the knife and, wash our hands and get it out the door.
Yeah.
And before like 1/3 of the episode is over, he has a complete break from reality and goes on like a jihad for science. he goes to the commander to make him order him to do the surgery, and when the commander says no, he disobeys orders and locks the kid in the med bay and performs surgery on him. It's so insane. The ending, what I thought was going to happen, because the parents find out and they're very upset, to say the least. There's this what's supposed to be a very moving scene.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't understand. It's a young kid, 7, 8, 9 or something. He's crying. His parents don't like him anymore. His soul got out because he was put under the knife. What a bunch of stupids, am I right? And he's crying, he's weeping, and the doctor is holding him in this very parental, protective pose, and it's like closing up on his face, like, oh my god. Is the state going to take him? Going to take him to the space UN? Oh, God. They don't do that.
Group home.
Yeah, they do the slightly less dark ending where the religious parents kill their son because of their beliefs. They believe he's a body without a soul at this point.
Wait, they kill him?
They kill him because they're convinced that his soul escaped from him. So from their perspective...
Wait, they actually...
Yes.
I totally misunderstood this when you told me this earlier.
Yeah.
I thought that you said that they ceremonially killed him.
No.
To be like, oh, okay, we got over it.
No, they have to...
I didn't know that they actually killed him.
Which is, again, this is...
What the fuck?
Aren't these barbaric religioids...
Oh my god.
So stupid. They literally always wanted to kill their son from the beginning.
And I was right.
They hyperbolize.
And it's a good thing.
And it's a good
that
thing.
I did the surgery against their wishes.
Right. Even though this kid is dead now.
Yeah. And it's my fault.
And it is totally my fault because they actually do a somewhat legitimate...
And his soul did get
like
out.
Scene where...
That's what happens if you get surgery is your soul
gets out from their stupid backwards beliefs. But...
No, I'm saying that's what happens in real life.
In real life.
Yeah.
Well, that yes, as well. Or if you sneeze. Yeah, it was wild. Like, holy shit. They brought the hammer down hard. I know that Star Trek was strong in its messaging a couple of times, although Star Trek was...
But not blatant.
Was always good, unless it was just a shit episode.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, that is that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy, man.
Oh god.
Oh jeez.
So that's my TED talk about Babylon 5. But I do enjoy the show.
He was just method acting. The Centauri has the best religious ceremonies.
The Centauri are awesome.
Yeah.
Londo is always drunk. They have like a billion household gods.
He's dressed like Space Napoleon.
Yeah,
like,
Space Napoleon. Yeah.
I actually really liked the religion, that religion show and tell scene. That entire race dies out, though, ironic and totally self-inflicted. Spoiler warning.
Whoa.
No. Home Guard doesn't sound so bad again. I don't know what that means.
Home Guard is the terrorist group.
Oh. The great part about the Dr. Kid episode is that they didn't pull their punch and made it end on a happy note.
Science won. Science was right in the end, which is the happy ending.
Yeah. Excuse me. Let's see here.
So we got here.
Farscape is being streamed right now. That's a weird and freaky show. I liked it.
I want to rewatch Farscape. I remember catching a handful of episodes when it was on TV.
Mm-hmm. The African alien episode
Black
of TNG was weird, where Tasha Yar gets married to a warlord and duels his other wife.
That's the worst episode of TNG.
Are you sure? The Naked Now is very bad. That's where they get the same shit. The same shit that made Sulu drunk and use the sword gets onto the Enterprise, and Data has sex with Tasha Yar.
Yeah, which is also a season 1 episode.
Yeah, it's so
season
bad.
1 is worse than season 2. I think.
Yeah, season 2 is pretty bad, though.
It's pretty bad,
Right.
but season 1 is even worse.
I think the episode you're talking about, I think Michael Dorn played that alien as well. Like, I think that's Worf just without the makeup.
I don't remember.
I could be wrong,
Maybe.
and people are going to fucking call me racist if I'm wrong. Let's see here. Michael Dorn alien episode. Well, let's give you every episode. Because he's fucking Klingon.
Could you be more specific?
TNG. Tasha Yar. Okay, that's a big search. Yes, it was Michael Dorn.
Thank God.
Take that, internet.
Every episode, Tashiar is the worst episode.
Yeah. I did see someone tweeted out just a black and white photo of Tasha Yar, and it just says, drugs can make you feel good. Tasha Yar. Because she says that.
Yeah. Although the episode with the actress who played
It's
Tasha...
fully functional.
That's
exactly.
true. Tasha Yar's sister, played by the same actress. That was a good episode in like season 3, maybe?
All the Treks sucked their first season. They
Yep.
needed time to find their feet and make them their own. I liked Star Trek. TOS, I think, is a good show from the beginning. It gets better, for sure, but it's good from the beginning. No, that's not the worst episode. The worst episode is the one where Diana gets raped by a ghostly alien.
That one is
and
also
gives
really
birth.
stupid and really
The
bad.
baby grows up super fast and turns into
Yeah.
an alien and flies off. Yeah. Beverly Crusher goes to Earth and has sex with an Irish guy who's actually a ghost alien. Code of Honor. You guys are in Austin, right? I just moved here. Which FLGSs should I check out?
Hell yeah. Emerald Tavern.
Emerald Tavern is the better one, in my opinion. You can sit. There's lots of tables to play games. They have food and drink available there.
Yep.
Service is not always great. They have a lot of games. There's Dragon's Lair, which doesn't have food or drink and is a lot more like miniatures and board games focused.
Yeah.
But those are pretty good. The one where she becomes a Romulan somehow is okay. She doesn't become a Romulan. That's just
What's
simply a different
her-
character.
Yeah, it's a different character.
Where she's a member of the Tal Shiar.
Tal Shiar,
Which is
that's
very
right.
different than Tasha Yar. I don't know what the others in chat think, but for me, Farscape is fun, but the episodes are close to a 50-50 whether I like them or not. It was that
I
was
never
on,
watched enough to have an opinion.
That was on before I had Sci-Fi Channel. And everyone's okay that their friend and love interest got raped by an alien. Yeah. It's amazing that early on they were thinking of canceling TNG. I forgot how they turned it around, but we almost didn't get much. I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
fucking sucked.
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched it if I was a fan of the original series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then?
I mentioned this episode earlier, Benjamin. Voyager episode where Janeway and the cocky guy turn into fish after traveling at Warp 10 for a bit. Yeah, we had a whole discussion on Warp 10. Doesn't Tasha Yar get time travel kidnapped and bred by a Romulan, or am I misrecalling?
I don't think she
I
gets
don't
time
remember.
travel, but that's how Empress Sela becomes a thing.
Yeah. There's an episode of TNG where Diana has to roleplay as a Romulan. It's weird. Yeah. And then after that, she's the expert on Romulan technology because of that
I think
episode.
you're overestimating what
Yeah.
I can offer you here.
Lex isn't bad if you've got a head full of mescaline. Yeah. Farscape has
flying
its share of
dragonfly.
not great episodes, but even the bad ones are fun in their way. All right. Yep. I joined, it seems. I'm not 30 minutes late, but close to 2 hours. True.
Farscape is the one with the alien who looks like a Cenobite, right?
I don't know.
With the-
It's the one where the ship is alive.
The ship is alive. There's the puppet. That's the pilot, right?
I never watched it, so I don't know.
I think I'm right. Tasha, a Romulan episode. Super stupid.
She tried to hold one of oldest and deepest planets in Federation space with like 3 ships. Which Trek alien do you think is the best villain? Klingons, Cardassians, etc.
The Cardassians are really cool.
I really like the Cardassians. I like the Romulans a lot.
They're all really cool.
Yeah.
The Klingons seem really cool, but all throughout TNG, like once they start really going into the Klingons, they're so cucked.
Oh, yeah.
They're so cucked. It's like I would have loved to have seen Klingons be Klingons
Right.
and not be a neutered, like squabbling polity.
Yeah.
So it kind of sours my opinion of the Klingons.
I loved Space Above and Beyond. I was showing Nick clips of it today.
Yeah, you were telling me about
because
that.
we were just thinking about old sci-fi series, and I was thinking of like Earth 2, Space Above and Beyond, all the different sci-fi series that were on during the 90s that were so fucking good, and all got canceled.
Which may have been for the best.
The Dagrons class is the coolest ship design in TNG.
I don't remember what that is.
Yeah. I like the idea of the Borg as a threat. Galactic homogeneity is basically the threat of communism. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were going for.
Cardassians are the best villains. I don't like the Dominion, but the Jem'Hadar were interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, the antagonist in the later Farscape episode looks like a Cenobite. Okay. All right.
Let's see here. All right. Well, it looks like we've got 8 more minutes
left.
8 more minutes for the Star Trek chance for a giveaway. We got
That's
30,
right.
30 super chats is what we're looking for. Probably not going to get it in 8 minutes.
Bro.
But
you
if you
never know.
guys, if you guys want Star Trek, now is the time.
Is the time.
Now is the time.
The biggest Romulan warbird
And
is
for those
the
of you who may
Dagrons.
have just tuned in, we are giving away this lovely tricorder box set.
That's right.
That has all the shrink
got the
wrap,
books, the dice,
the
straps
the
so you can-
strap. It is a tricorder, but this contains Star Trek Adventures
That's
RPG,
right.
which is an
Not
excellent
used,
game.
all in the shrink wrap.
Yeah, all in the shrink wrap. Thoughts on Andromeda? Is that the
What is
show?
Andromeda?
That might have been the Kevin Sorbo show.
I have not seen it.
It was okay, from what I remember, but it wasn't. It was always on in the afternoon on the weekend. It
I
could
don't
be
know.
a different show though. Dagrons is the biggest Romulan warbird.
The original plan for the Borg with the worms was wild. I don't know
I'm
about
not familiar
that.
with that. The Dominion are the best. They're the antithesis to the Federation.
Make it so.
Oh, come
Hell,
on. Let
oh,
me scroll.
there we go.
Thank you, Ian Sharp, for $5.
Thank you, dude.
He's wearing bondage gear. The changelings could have been a lot cooler for what they did, but they ended up being kind of wimpy. Yeah. Wow, that went by quickly. Yeah.
Time goes fast when you're traveling to warp 9.9, talking
Yeah.
about Star Trek.
And then when you break the transwarp barrier,
That's right.
you turn into a little fish
That's right.
gecko thing. Stargate is also better than Trek. I don't think it is.
Having not watched Stargate, other than the movie, I feel like that can't be true.
Yes, the Kevin Sorbo show. Yeah. I enjoyed the episodes that I saw of it, but I just never caught it enough.
How many Star Trek shows did they do? There was, or Stargate shows. There was Stargate,
Well, no, it was the Stargate the movie. Stargate SG-1 was the
and
the
there was
big
Stargate
show.
Atlantis, right?
Atlantis.
Was that it?
I don't know. There might have been another one.
Those are the other ones I remember.
Earth Final Conflict is accidentally based in 2025. Aliens are the deep state.
Interesting.
Earth Final Conflict. Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of. Is that the one where they wear like the aliens in the purple suit and they're all bald, and the guy gets the alien on his hand and he can like shoot things with it and he can't get drunk? Is that the one I'm thinking of? SG-1 Atlantis and Universe. That one sucked. Yeah.
Stargate Universe. Okay.
You super chat for the giveaway. I super chat because I'm a parasocial attention whore. We are not the same. Thank you, Mary McCheese. The Stargate movie is atrocious. What are you talking about? I had fucking Kurt Russell in it, man, and James Spader.
That's true.
Stargate has the advantage in that it's not running and therefore cannot become as bad as modern Trek. Stargate.
Careful what you wish for. I mean,
Yeah, I
they're
know.
looking for stuff to bring back
Yeah.
and reboot.
I'm tired of these neutered warrior cultures. My first impression of Manda, and so was from Clone Wars. A friend told me they're all Republic lore, and afterwards I felt more dissatisfied with Commandos.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's trash. I don't remember, because I used to be a huge Star Wars fan in middle school. Mainly in middle school. But Dane remembers this because we were both big Star Wars fans, and we would talk about this before the prequels came out. I don't know if this is something that he and I mutually came up with ourselves, mutually hallucinated. But I always remember, and I'd read all the books. My impression before the prequels came out about what the Mandalorians were and what the Clone Wars were was that it was a war between the Mandalorians and a clone army of the Old Republic, and it was not that at all. I don't know if anyone else remembers that. Oh shit.
Remember the lore we concocted about the Clone Wars?
He's talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
The Mandalorians that were clones.
That's right. Yes. You're right. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, thank you for the $10. I don't know.
Thank you, man. And it sounded so much cooler. Of course, how could it not be cooler? How could anything not be cooler than what we got?
Right. And bizarrely, full frontal nudity. In what?
One of the shows?
Firefly, Serenity are the best sci-fi shows. Stargates. I don't know. Stargate, I mean. Was there? I don't remember. Stargate universe generally sucked. Characters yelling over each other made it hard to get what was going on. The magic stones was all sorts of BS. It was just bad. Yeah. I don't know. 2 minutes. 21.
Oh,
we did 9 super chats. All right, let's see. I don't know, guys. I don't know if Star Trek Adventures is getting given away tonight. We might have to hold on to this one for a little longer. Let me see here. What did we miss? I love Stargate Universe except for them trying to push a gay character. Didn't click on that one. I never saw it.
Yeah, I never saw it. I don't have any skin in the game.
I forgot to capitalize the U, so that was probably confusing. Stargate Universe had civilians. Couldn't tell you. I even donated my super chat. Sad times. Yeah, well, we do appreciate that.
We do thank everybody.
SG1 is good. It's very pro-American.
I like being pro-American, so...
Yeah, I do.
And I do like the idea of having a space gate in... I
wish BLG gave out firearms. Yeah, that'd be cool.
If we could,
we would. Yeah, we are not an FFL, though. The movie, but the whole series always warned for nudity, but it was because of the movie. Interesting.
Huh. So a show had...
No, the Stargate movie had nudity in it. Which I don't remember.
But the show has a warning for nudity because that makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It's very weird.
Watch out on a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Which you are not watching now. There may be nudity. There is nudity.
The female soldier gets kidnapped and has her top removed in SG-1. Nice.
Oh, it premiered on Showtime.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
My Gauntlet game this past weekend, 6 character deaths.
Nice.
3 from the same player. They have decided to press on and make it a campaign.
Nice.
Hell yeah, man.
Congratulations. That's right. I forgot SG-1.
If it was on Showtime,
yeah, it was on Showtime.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
Very interesting. So they could do nudes. Well, I guess I might have to watch it now. No. Yeah, the first SG-1 episode had nudity. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you very much for participating. But like Willy Wonka said, you all get nothing! rolling. Yeah, sorry guys. We didn't reach the goal tonight.
No worries.
No worries.
It'll
We
come
will-
back around,
It'll
though.
come back around. We will have the Star Trek tricorder set still here.
Yep, it won't be going
waiting-
anywhere.
Waiting to get sent out. It's a very good game though.
Yeah, it legitimately is.
So somebody did miss out, essentially, is what I'm saying.
These titles are getting more and more cracked, LOL.
Yeah. I really want to run Shadow Sun. You should.
Yeah, you definitely should, man.
Good day, sir. Yeah, exactly. Whole plot is ancient aliens meets American military kicking their asses.
I do like that. That's a good pitch.
It's a good premise, but I didn't fucking care as much, you know? I liked other
Yeah.
shows better.
Didn't Willy Wonka end up giving the factory away? Did Charlie have to say it anyway, though?
Counterpoint.
That is a good point.
Counterpoint. Willy Wonka actually gave the whole thing away.
The whole thing away. That is
Yeah.
true.
In that way, we are not like Willy Wonka at all.
That is true. Should we be like Willy Wonka though?
What time is it?
10:21.
We should go another 9 minutes. We typically...
That's true. That's true. Actually, I started the
actually
goal
should-
before we started the show.
Yes.
It's still open.
It's still
guys.
open.
It's still open. See, I don't think it's keeping track of the count anymore, but that is one more $5. We're at 23, so we get 7 more in the next 9 minutes. Star Trek
yeah.
can be yours.
Yes.
I really liked the Goa'uld as villains. They're paranoid, power-hungry, backstabbing bastards that can't unite to save their asses. Just bothered me that every alien world they went to in SG-1 looked like the forests around Vancouver. I know. That's exactly true. Charlie giving the factory away avoids all the wrongful death lawsuits he was staring down. Yeah.
Now you have to go to court. You have to go to prison.
Mayor McCheese in for $5. Wonka gave it away to
Wonka
avoid
gave it
liability
away
for
to avoid
murders.
liability for the murders.
Yeah.
Biden just right on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he would be right on that one.
Right. Give me that fucking box, BLG. All right. We'll see. I also like that they're fake gods, just a bunch of Christians slaughtering Egyptian demons with P90s. Yeah. Come with me and you be in a world of pure litigation.
The 90s were a good time, a great time
They were
for
awesome.
TV,
Yeah.
and for sci-fi TV in particular.
In particular. Firefly series and Serenity was the best TV show. Yeah, so we're just going back up, seeing if we missed any chats. Now I can't scroll. There we go. Saddling a child with crippling debt from lawsuits is based, if I do say so myself. Based? Are you familiar with the SG-1 as Guardians? Look them up.
I feel like I heard about that. I'm not familiar with it at all.
I do
though.
remember Briscoe County Jr. starring the guy who played Ash, Bruce Campbell. It's
What is this, a show?
Oh, it was a show in the 90s. Yeah, he's a cowboy who I think is an alien, and he
Okay.
has it was a Sam Raimi show, and they have like
Okay.
he has this like fucking like orb of things that he has to like stick these things in.
Okay.
Like, it's very weird. It was very fun though.
So what, did he crash land
Yeah.
in the Old West, or?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell is great. 1970s TV sci-fi was trippy, weird, and totally fascinating. I'm a huge fan of Bruce Campbell. Yep, an alien orb western. Exactly.
It's a new genre.
Briscoe County Jr. is a Weird West show.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. I was a big fan of Hercules and Xena as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And, man, what else? What other weird shows were there in the 90s? There was a show, I fucking loved it. It was called The Others, and it was a paranormal show. And It got canceled after one season. In the series finale, the season finale, which became the series finale, they all die. Every character in the show.
Really?
And it's, because it's set up in a previous episode where this like this demon basically approaches all of them, and they all like, it just keeps asking them, what do you want? What do you want? So they each tell it to so like not kill them.
Yeah.
And of course, they all get what they want in the last episode, and they all end up dying.
Yeah.
And I think that they were not supposed to die, but then the show got canceled. And
God,
they
it
never
didn't get picked up.
Yeah, didn't have a way to get that.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, Briscoe County Jr. is great. Jack of All Trades I never saw, but I'm familiar with it. It's another Campbell Ramey show where he's like it's like colonial times or something. He's like a pirate. Yeah, I don't know. Erie, Indiana. Space Above and Beyond was great. Xena's sidekick is from Austin. I didn't know that. Gabrielle.
Oh, that's cool.
Anything Bruce Campbell in it is great as far as I've seen. Yeah. There was another one series wonder. Sliders, Viper, Quantum Leap.
I remember that show.
Quantum Leap was more the 80s, though, I think. Cleopatra 2525. I barely vaguely remember that.
I don't remember that
Conan
at all.
the Adventures, not the cartoon, which is better. Jack of All Trades, Sinbad,
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, yeah. All inspired by Hercules and Xena. Thanks for keeping me entertained while I supervised a boring database migration for my Floridian overlords. Yeah. Do the giveaway anyhow. Yeah, I think we're going to. Lower budgets and network TV schedule made pre-streaming era shows better. 90s had just great television in retrospect. Yeah. Cool.
That's
All right,
true.
we're going to do the giveaway, guys. Where somebody's getting Star Trek. Let me get this.
We can't talk
set
about
up.
how much we love Star Trek. Without,
And not give away Star Trek.
that's right. We are post-scarcity after all, so
Yeah.
it was never about the money. Except it was. All right, we got to punch in.
Wheel of Names. Clear the names from last time. Now I need to. Fuck.
Okay.
Bring this up here.
Yep.
I go to YouTube. YouTube Studio. Here. All right, so you, of course, you can super chat more, but I'm going to start adding people's names to the list.
All right, where are we starting? Down.
We're starting here.
Okay.
A couple of adventurers.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Porch.
Yep.
Common J.
Rob McKenna.
Work. Dolo. Bacon. Oh, who was it who said that they put me in the draw for Dane? Dungeon of Terra.
Well, Dane ended up giving a a $10 super chat anyway.
Sure. Cheese, do we have him on there?
Not yet.
Cheese. Flamingo. McKenna, Mary Cheese. Ian Sharp.
Okay.
Bell. Jay. Okay, I think that's everybody.
Yep.
All right. That
Yep.
should be everybody.
All right. Share it up. We'll spin the wheel.
Screen share.
Down, down. There you go. Up one. There.
Wheel. There we go. All right, guys. Are you ready?
Let's. Yeah, everybody can see that. Yeah.
Here we go. We're gonna
All right.
spin it, boys.
All right. Oh my God. Oh.
Couple of adventurers. It was almost rigged. Couple of adventurers. You won
Congrats,
the
man.
Star Trek box set. So
We
what you're
forgot
gonna-
the E, Dane.
Yeah.
Dan Seifel.
Yeah. So here's what you're going to do, two adventurers. Send us an email at blacklodgegamesrpg@gmail.com with your address and your first and last name. I need your first and last name, or UPS won't let me send it.
Yeah.
So send that, and
We'll get that over to
we'll
you.
get that over to you. Yeah. Cool. Let me go.
Well played, boys.
Yeah, good.
Congrats
good job.
again, man.
Main
There we
broadcast.
go.
There we go. Let me get this. Where's our chat thing? Too many windows. There we go. Dan? All right, let's see what we got. Have a good night. My East Coast
Hear ya.
self
Yep.
is dying. Yep. Remember the old Saturday anime spot on the Sci-Fi Channel? They showed some wild stuff. Yeah, I didn't have Sci-Fi Channel at that point.
I do remember those times. Those were good.
If it doesn't hit me, it's rigged. If it hits me, it's super rigged. Yep, they showed Fist of the North Star. I think they showed Macross. Missed nearly the whole show. Damn you, time zone's gonna start over. All right. Let me see here. Spin the wheel.
That's right.
Rigged.
Rigged.
How's it going, Off-Grid Gaming? Good to see you. Always remember they said in the deleted scenes that Bruce Campbell got the job for Briscoe County Jr. because he did a standing backflip at the audition.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we
All
are
right.
going to have something to send out for two adventurers. I don't know what the fuck I was going to say, but
I guess that's
we're going
what
to
you were
sign
going to
off.
say.
Yeah. It's been good to see you guys. Glad we got to do the giveaway anyway. And
Yeah. We'll talk some sci-fi and some 90s
Yeah.
TV with you guys.
and look forward to Colts of Zahak. If you haven't
Yes.
backed it, go to the Kickstarter.
It's coming
Check
soon.
it out. It's coming real soon.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
did
and it's
back
gonna
it, you're
be
going to get your
awesome.
PDF damn soon, and it's really good.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Thank you very much.
Take it
Have
easy,
a good
boys.
night.